Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be testing out a palette from TJ Maxx and Marshalls. This is the Ellen Tracy palette. You can get this for $4 or so. So I'm going to be testing it, wearing it, doing an all-day wear test, seeing how it performs, if it blends, if it... That way, if you guys see this palette and stumble upon it in Marshalls or TJ Maxx, then you guys know whether it's a good one or stay away. So if you do like these kinds of videos, please be sure to go and give this video a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and subscribe. Also be sure to hit that notification bell and make sure you click all. That way you guys get all of my videos and not just some of them. Let's jump into this. Okay, so we're going to be testing out the Ellen Tracy Eyeshadow. I got this at $3.99 at Marshall. This is what the palette looks like. So as you can see, I already have my eyes primed and set, so we're just going to go and hop on in and see how this bad boy blends. The only thing that sucks is that there is no mirror. If you want to take this on the go, this wouldn't be the palette for you. So I'm going to go ahead and insert swatches right now. So you have Clean Slate, you have Swoon, Fierce, Ravishing, Embark, Amber Lights, Cinnamon Spice, Sable, and Magnetic Field. Now, swatches don't tell everything. They don't tell the full story of how these shadows blend, perform, and everything like that. So you can't just go by how the swatches look. So I'm going to go into Clean Slate right here. I'm just taking my fluffy brush, which I always use in my crease. The shadow is pretty pressed in there. Not a lot of kickback is coming up when I dip into the palette, which, as long as it blends for me, that's all I really care about. So I had to dip into that color like 5 or 6 times just to even get a little bit of pigment. Okay, so this is what we got going on so far, but it doesn't really look like anything is really happening right now. I mean, I see a little bit when I see in the mirror, but in the camera and my little screen thing, I don't see much. Like, there's nothing going on. So now I think we're going to go into Sable, which is a little bit deeper than Clean Slate, so we're just going to go into this one, and I'm just going to put that one into my crease as well, because when I dip in, there's not a lot of fallout or kickback. There's no poofing or anything, but I will also use it even if there is kickback. That doesn't bother me. So Sable definitely has a lot more color payoff. I'm going to go ahead and switch brushes and see if I can get more color payoff with that color. So I'm going to go ahead and dip into this more densely crease brush. I think they blend very, very well, and I'm not applying a lot of pressure. I'm just going in like I normally do, and I definitely think they're blending out very, very nicely. I'm going to go ahead and take Fierce right here, which is a really beautiful chocolatey brown. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in my outer V. That is like the only color I really had to tap off, because there was kickback with that color. So I really had to go and build up that brown. I definitely like building up my darker colors. I definitely think that is something that can go really wrong really, really quick. It's better to go and build up your darker colors than it is to go in really hard with that darker color. So I definitely do like it. It definitely looks very beautiful. I had no issues blending it out. I just went in with this brush and just blended out the edges. I'm going to go into Embark, which is almost like a brownish red burgundy kind of color. It's very beautiful. So I'm just going to go and take it on a fluffy brush and go into the crease very, very lightly. Now that one definitely had a lot of kickback and like poofing. Now I'm just going to take another brush and go ahead and blend out the edges. Now I definitely think that this color was a little bit harder to blend out. I do see it looks a little bit uneven over here, which I've been trying to blend out. It's very hard to. It doesn't want to blend out, but I'm just going to go and leave it. It's not that hard to tell, really. It's just me like really going in. So I'm going to go into Ravishing right here. It's just a beautiful shimmery kind of taupe. I'm just going to take that on my finger, and that's what it looks like. So this color doesn't really have a lot of shine. It just adds a little bit of something to the inner corner, but not a lot. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spray the brush, spray my finger, and then apply it to my lid. We just had some good old Wet n Wild. Alright, so I really do like how that applies. As you guys know, I really don't like to go and mist my shimmers. That's just not something that I've always done, but it did definitely help the eyeshadow. And I do think it got a little bit more payoff. So this is it with the eyeshadow portion of it. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face. Alright you guys, so this is the final look using the palette. So I'm going to go ahead and do some check-ins to go and see how this wears, and I'll see you in a bit. Alright you guys, so it's about 9 o'clock. I've been wearing this eyeshadow for I believe about 8 hours now, so everything looks pretty much about the same. I made sure I concealed and set my eyes like I do with any other eyeshadow, so everything looks the same. The outer V still looks the same. It didn't lose any sort of pigment, so I'm pretty pleasantly surprised because I did get this palette at TJ Maxx or Marshalls or whatever. It was about $4, so I'm pretty surprised about that. I didn't think it would last on my eyes. I thought it would just be like something for like little kids to wear. I don't think there is any creasing actually. That's just my eye. Alright, so I didn't really feel good after the movie theater, so I'm recording this a couple days later. If you guys don't mind not having a mirror, this would be a really good travel-friendly palette because of the size and how thin it is. It's about the equivalent size, almost, of a ColourPop palette, except this one has a mirror. But I really don't like how they don't have a mirror in this palette. Like, they just have a breakdown of how you would make a look out of it. Nowadays, I really think you see a lot of palettes coming out where they have it all on the back, just a sticker, and if you want to remove it, you could. I think that is just a big waste of space. In my opinion, they could have put even like a really small mirror. So Clean Slate was a really nice transition shade for my skin tone. If you were a little bit deeper than me, you may not see this color show up on your skin at all. I really had to go in and dip 4 to 5 times in this eyeshadow to really even get some sort of color payoff. Even just going in the crease with a bronzer would have been better, or even taking like a foundation powder would have been better than this color. The color Ravishing, I did wet it when I did put it on my eye. I'm not someone who loves to wet things when I go and put on my glitters. That's something I never do. There's always a chance for me personally that I will never have a setting spray when I go out or something. If I don't feel like doing a full face of makeup, I will not have a setting spray with me. So if I wanted to go and bring this palette, I would be not having a lot of shimmer on the lid because it didn't perform the way I liked it to. I had to use a mist, look a little bit better and more shiny and more reflective. Sable was a beautiful color, I think, on a day when you don't want to do much. I think it'd be a really good color to throw into your crease. I usually reach for colors like this that are very ashy and very grayish, kind of, so to speak. The shade Embark, I definitely had quite a bit of trouble blending it out, and I used like a little fluffy brush into my crease. Usually I'm able to blend it out with another brush, but this I could not get it even with my normal brushes. So just be wary of that if you ever want to pick up this palette. And Fierce, which is a really beautiful chocolatey brown, you will have to build this up. I literally jammed my brush in it and then went on my eye, and even still I had to go back in and blend everything out, but it blends out nicely. I didn't use the colors Sugar and Spice or Amber Lights, and I also didn't use the color Magnetic Field and or Swoon. So is this palette Jenny approved? If you are experienced with eyeshadow, I consider myself pretty experienced. I know what I'm doing. I don't need some little diagram to tell me how to do eyeshadows. I would only recommend this palette to someone who doesn't really know what they're doing, who wants to go and have natural looks and doesn't mind building up their colors. This is a palette for them. But if you love a pigmented palette to wear Anastasia level palette, then this is not for you. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video. If you want to see other wear tests, let me know what you want me to do a wear test on. Hopefully not foundation, maybe concealer or something like that. And I will be sure to go and do that for you guys. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.